today's maths class of class 6. Children, in today's class we are going to learn a new lesson. Before that, let me ask you a question. When you think of mathematics, what comes to your mind? Yes, it is the numbers. Until now you have been learning about the different number systems, that is the whole numbers, natural numbers, integers, and also you have learned about the basic operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division on these numbers. But other than numbers, there is a branch of mathematics which deals with the shapes and figures. Yes, it is called geometry. Children, let me tell you that geometry is an English word which is derived from a Greek word geometron. Geometron, which can be again divided into two parts, geo, which means earth, and metron, which means measurement. So the branch of mathematics which deals with the measurement, comparison of different shapes and figures is referred to as geometry. And this branch of geometry has many wide applications in various fields of architecture, engineering, fashion designing and so on. So let us see what geometry means. Geometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with shapes and figures. Geometry explains how to build or draw shapes, measure them and compare them. So students, you must have got an idea that today we are going to do a lesson related with geometry. Yes, we are going to do the fourth lesson of your NCERT textbook, Basic Geometrical Ideas. So in this lesson we are going to learn about different basic terms that are involved in geometry. We are going to learn how to denote them, how to make these figures and shapes and size, and also some basic properties related with these basic elements of geometry. So children, let us start with understanding the basic elements of geometry, starting with the first one, that is point. When you think of point, what comes in your mind? If you take your sharp pencil and just put a mark on a paper, what do you get? If you put a small mark on a paper, this is what you get. And if you sharpen your pencil further, this mark, it gets more thinner and it becomes almost invisible. Or you can think about point when you think about the tip of your compass or the sharp tip of the needle. All these are nothing but the representation of point, what we mean in geometry. So in geometry, point represents a location or a position. It represents the location or position of an object in a plane. And the point is said to be dimensionless. That is, it does not have length, breadth or height. So just a small mark like this represents a point. So how do I denote a point? I can denote a point by using the capital letter of the English alphabet. Any capital letter of the English alphabet will refer to the point which I am referring to. So if I have to name this point, how will I name? This point can be named as A, or any alphabet can be used, but it has to be used in the capital form. So let us see what we understood about point. A point represents location or a position. A point is dimensionless. A point is denoted by a single capital letter of the English alphabet. And you can see the example of the different points that are being shown on the screen. And you can see the symbol that is used and how we represent a point using the capital letter of the English alphabet. The second element that you should know in geometry is line segment. This term has two parts, line and segment. First let us understand segment. What do you mean by segment? It is a part of something. And line is nothing but it is when we join a number of points together, we get a line. So we understand that line segment is a part of a line. You should know that line is made up of a number of points and when you take any 2 points, any 2 fixed point, and you draw a line between the fixed point, we refer it as the line segment. Clear? Let us see how we can represent it. I will take any 2 points and I will join these points. And these 2 points that I have taken will be fixed. I cannot extend it further. So this is the representation of a line segment. And now that you know that how is a point shown, this point I will show it with a capital letter and this with another capital letter. So how will I represent a point? I will use the symbol for point by naming it as AB, and I will make a mark on the top without any arrows. Clear? So this is the symbol for line segment. And remember, when we say line segment, we are talking about this shortest distance between these 2 fixed points. Clear? So let us see what we understood about line segment. A line segment is a part of line that is bounded by 2 endpoints. A line segment has one dimension, that is length. A line segment is denoted by 2 capital letters, and you can see the example of 2 line segments on your screen, AB and XY. And in the table you can see how we represent a line segment by using the 2 capital letters and a line over the 2 capital letters, which represents a line segment. Now the third element is line. Now you have somewhat an idea of line. Line is nothing but when you have a number of points together and when you join these points, or if you think in respect of line segment, you know it is the distance between these 2 fixed points. Suppose if I extend beyond this point A endlessly and beyond this point B, what do I get? I get a line. That means line can be extended endlessly in both the directions. That is, when I have to draw a line, how do I show it? I will show it by drawing 2 arrows at the end, showing that it can be extended indefinitely in both the direction. And on this line you have a number of points. You can take any 2 points to name the line. Okay? And how do I represent it by using the symbol? Because these are points, I will use capital letters and write. So I will write it as AB, and see the symbol that I am using. I am using a double-headed arrow. Okay? You can see the double-headed arrow. You can see the difference between how I represent a line segment and a line. In line segment, here the 2 endpoints are shown without an arrow. In line, you have a double-headed arrow symbol over the 2 capital letters. There is another way of representing a line. Like the same case, you can represent by using a small letter also, 2 arrows, and any small letter of the English alphabet, L. So this also represents line, line L. Clear? So be very clear about the difference between line segment and line. In line segment, the 2 fixed points, which are called endpoints, that cannot be extended further. But in a line, you can extend the line beyond 2 fixed points, that is, it can be extended indefinitely in both the directions. So let us summarize what we learnt about line. A line is made up of infinite number of points that extends indefinitely in both the direction. A line has one dimension, that is length. A line is denoted by 2 capital letters using a double-headed arrow or a single small letter of the English alphabet. You can see both the examples there. You can see how a line is represented by using 2 capital letters or by using a small letter. And in the table you can see the symbol of the line being shown as AB with a double-headed arrow over the letter that we have used. Now you have understood about line. Let us see 2 types of lines. The first line that you have to understand is the intersecting lines. When 2 or more lines meet at a common point, or they cross each other at a common point, we call them intersecting lines. Let me show how it looks like. Any two lines which meet at a common point. Any two lines which meet or cross each other at a common point is called intersecting lines. That is, here I have shown only two lines, so this will be a pair of intersecting lines. So let me name these lines. Either I can write it by using capital letter or a single small letter. If I name this line as L and this line as M, you can say L and M are crossing each other at a common point. This is a point, so how will I name it? By using a capital letter. So I say L and M are crossing each other or meeting each other at the point A. Okay? And this point or this common point where the two lines meet each other, it is called the point of intersection. So there is no particular symbol for showing the intersecting lines. I can write L and M. These are the name of the two lines. L and M intersect at point A. Which is the point they meet at? It is the point A. That is called the point of intersection. You can think of many other examples that you see around you of intersecting lines. The first example that may come into your mind is the English letter X. This capital letter X is nothing but a simplest example of intersecting lines. Or you must have seen the crossroads. They also represent intersecting lines. Let us see what we have learnt about intersecting lines. If two or more lines cross or meet each other at a common point, they are called intersecting lines. The common point is called the point of intersection. And here you can see in the figure example of a pair of intersecting lines and the point of intersection. Or you can see in the next figure, that is a number of lines. More than two lines are crossing each other and the point of intersection is P. Now children, the next type of lines that you have to understand is the parallel lines. It is just the opposite of intersecting lines. I have said in intersecting lines, the lines intersect or they meet at a point. When any two lines do not meet at a particular point, that is, even if I extend, they do not meet, then such lines are called parallel lines. So what are the two conditions for lines to be parallel? One is, that is, they should not meet each other, and another one more condition is that the distance between the two lines should be same. They should be equidistant. Let me show you an example. This is a ruler. This is a ruler. All of you have a ruler. Okay. Now in the ruler, the two edges, you can see that these two edges, they do not meet. Even if you make this ruler longer, both the sides, you will find that they will never meet. So this is the simplest example of parallel lines that you can understand. Or the two edges of the table, they also represent parallel lines. Let us see how we can draw two parallel lines. So remember, the two lines which never meet are called parallel lines. This is one line, and another, you can draw another line having equal spacing or distance between them. And remember, when we draw a line, we show it with the two arrows at the end, showing that it can be extended in both the direction. If I name this line as A, B and this line as C, D, you will find that these two lines, even if they are extended in both the direction, they will not meet. And the distance between the two lines, you will find it to be same. Such lines are called parallel lines. Okay. Now we'll see how we'll represent parallel line using symbol. What is the name of the first line? It is AB. And the symbol used for parallel line is two vertical lines drawn like this. And the next line we will write CD. Clear? So how do I read this? I read it as AB parallel CD. Hope you are clear with parallel lines. Let us again summarize. Two lines in a plane are said to be parallel if they do not meet each other and have equal distance between them. You can see the illustration of two lines. That is, either you use small letters like L and M and use the symbol by writing L parallel M, or in the next figure you can see that the two lines AB and CD are parallel, and the symbol that we use for it is clearly shown AB parallel CD. Now another term that you have to be clear is ray. Now what do you understand by ray? What is in your mind it comes when I talk about the word ray? It must be the sun rays. Okay? So same concept is used here. Like we receive light from the sun. So sun can be considered as a fixed point, and from the sun we receive light. So ray also in geometry has the same concept. It has one fixed point and it extends indefinitely in one direction. Clear? Let me show you how it looks like. That is, there will be one fixed point, and this point from where the ray starts, that will be called the initial point or the starting point. And from this point, if I draw a line, and if it is a line, I have to show the arrow. Okay? So this point, I will name it as A, and in the path of the arrow, I can take any point and name it. So this is the representation of a ray. Okay? Here, be very clear, in a ray there is only one fixed point and the other end can be extended indefinitely. Okay? So how will I represent a ray? I will write it as the name of the ray AB, and see the symbol I am using. I am using a single headed arrow. So children, be very clear with the representation of the different terms that we have learned about line, line segment and ray. Let us see what we have learnt about ray. A ray is a portion of a line. It starts at one point and goes endlessly in a given direction. A ray has only one dimension, that is length. A ray is denoted by two capital letters using a single-headed arrow. So, hope children you have understood the different terms that I have taught till now. Line, line segment, ray, and then we started with point and the two types of line, that is parallel line and the intersecting lines, and also the how we have represented these different geometrical terms by using symbols. So now we can start the first exercise, exercise 4.1. First question, use the figure to name. You have been given a figure and you have to answer the questions according to what is asked. The first part is, from this figure you have to name 5 points. Now you know that what is a point? It refers to a position or a location. And here you can see, and remember what we learnt about how to denote a point by using capital letters. So you can see different capital letters being used here. They are nothing but point. So you have to name any 5 points. So the different points can be B, O, C, E and D. So we have named 5 points from the figure. The second question is, you have to name a line. Now you can see, line means it represents two arrows on both sides. That is, line is represented by using a double-headed arrow. So here you can see that if you name this as DB, this line, or name it as EO, this will represent a line. Clear? Because here you have number of points and the 2 points. Any 2 points you can take to name the line. So you can name this line as DB or BD. So the line can be DB. And how do I represent a line? By using a double-headed arrow. Now the third one, 4 rays. Remember what we learned about rays? Ray has one fixed point and the other end can be extended indefinitely. So if I take this as the fixed point, one of the fixed points, one of the rays can be OB. Remember, a ray is written by the first letter will be the fixed point or the initial point from where the ray starts. So one of the rays can be OB, and remember how is a ray represented? By using a single-headed arrow. Another ray which can be from the point O can be OC, or I can write it as OD, or another ray also can be OE. There can be other examples also. So here they have asked only 4 rays. So the 4 rays I have named from the figure. Remember, the representation should be correct. When I am using line, I am using a double-headed arrow. When I am using to represent a ray, So this is how I identify that whether it is a line, or when I see this I understand that DB is a line. Clear? Now 5 line segments. Now what is line segment? It is the distance between any 2 points, any 2 fixed points. So you can take any 2 points and name these line segments. So one of the line segment can be DE, and this is how I represent, or it can be EO, or it can be OB, or it can be OC, or you can even name it as BD. All these are line segments. So here clearly you have seen how we have named the point, line, rays and line segment. So be very clear in understanding about the difference between how to represent a line, how to represent a ray and the line segment. Let us do question number 2, which reads, name the line given in all possible ways, and you have been asked to name it 12 ways, choosing only 2 letters at a time from the 4 given. You can see the figure. This is the figure that is given in your textbook, and there are 4 points that are marked there, and you have to name these lines in 12 different ways using 2 letters at a time. And we know that is how we represent a line, by using any 2 capital letters. So let us start from this point A. So it can be written, line can be named as AB, another from A can be AC, and also it can be named from A as AD. Now let us start from B. It can be BC. It can also be named as BD from the point B. Now let us start from C. So how will we write? We can write it as CD. So we have used the points and named in one particular direction. So if we start naming in the opposite direction, again we will get 6 more. Starting from the point D, you can write it as DC, or it can be DB, or it can be DA. Or if you start from here, you can write it as CD, CA, and from the point B you can also name this line as BA. So you can see that these are the 12 ways in which this line can be represented by using any 2 letters. Question number 3 is, use the figure to name. That is, a figure has been given, and using this figure you have to answer the questions that has been asked. The first question is a line containing point E. You can see many lines here, and also you can see the different points that are marked on the line. So you have to name the line which contains point E. So clearly look into the figure. It is the line AE which contains the point E, or it can be also the line FE which contains the point E. So you can name it as either AE or FE as the answer for the first part. Both these lines contain or pass through the point E. I can write it as AE, or another answer can also be FE. Both these lines have the point E on it. The second part, B, is a line passing through A. So you can see the point A. So which is the line which passes through this point A? You can name this as AB, you can name it as AD or AE. Clear? So a line which contains point A or passes through A can be AE. And remember, when I am writing line, I am showing the symbol or using the symbol for line. So line AE passes through the point A. Does the line FE passes through point A? No, it does not pass through point A. C part is a line on which O lies. Now see into the figure, where is your point O? This is your point O. You have to name a line on which O lies. What is the name of the line? Name of the line is CO, or it can be also written as OC. Both are the same. Either you write it as CO or OC, it is the same. So the line CO has O. The point O lies on the line CO. Now the D part is two pairs of intersecting lines. Remember what we learned about intersecting lines? When two lines meet at a particular point or cross each other at a particular point, they are called intersecting lines. So here you can see that this line CO and AE, they cross at the point B. So it can be one set of intersecting lines. So one of the pair can be AE and CO. This is one pair of intersecting lines, AE and CO, and if you had to mention the point of intersection, what is the point they meet? It is B. Now the next pair of intersecting lines, you can see that the line AE also and FE also meet at the point E. So another set of intersecting lines can be AE and FE. These are the two pairs of intersecting lines from the given figure. Let us solve question number 4, which reads as how many lines can pass through, and two options have been given. The first one is you have to say how many lines can pass through when you have one given point, and the second is when you have two given points. So till now the questions that we did was you had the figures, and from the figures you had to name. So here now the question is given and you have to draw the figure. So the question is how many lines can you draw when you have one given point? Okay, so let us take one point, and remember, how do we name the point? Use any capital letter. Now you have to see how many lines can pass through this given point. I can draw a line in this direction. I can also draw a line in this direction passing through the point X, or I can draw in this direction. So you can see I can draw so many lines passing through this point X, passing through this point X. Even more lines I can draw which can pass through this point X. That is, you can draw indefinite or countless number of lines which can pass through a given point. That is, through a given point you can draw indefinite number of lines. Now the second part is, if suppose 2 points are given, then how many lines can I draw through it? So let us take 2 points. One point, name it by using a capital letter. Another point, I am using another capital letter to name the point. Now, through these 2 points, how many lines can I draw? Can I draw any other line which passes through these 2 points? Can I give it a try? If I draw a line through B, does it pass through A? No, it does not pass through A. Another line if I draw through A, does it pass through B? No, it does not pass through. So what do I understand? That through 2 given points, I can draw only one line. Remember, through 2 given points, I can draw only one line. Only one line can be made through 2 given points. Now let us solve question number 5. Draw rough figure and label suitably in each of the following cases. Remember children, when you are doing questions related with geometry, you have to draw neat figures using a sharpened pencil and ruler, and also you have to label the figure which you are making very clearly. So this is a question, draw rough figure and label suitably in each of the following cases. 4 cases have been given and you have to draw the figure for them. So the first one is point P lies on AB. Now see this AB, what symbol it has? It has a symbol of line segment. That means AB is a line segment. I hope by now you are clear with how we represent a line segment and ray. So when you have to draw line segment, you have to take any 2 points, and these points are the end points. You cannot go beyond that. So when I join this, these 2 points is the line segment that I am getting, that is A and B. So the line segment is AB. And where does this point P lie? It lies on AB. You can mark this point anywhere. Anywhere you can take a point and name it as P. So when you see this figure, what do you understand? You understand that AB is a line segment and there is a point P which lies on the line segment AB. Clear? Now the P part. XY and PQ. See the symbol over it, double-headed arrow. So these two are lines. Clear? So line XY and line PQ intersect at N. So they are pairs of intersecting lines. So the two lines, that is XY, if suppose I take this point X and Y, so this becomes a line XY, and another line PQ. On this line I will take any 2 points and name it as PQ. So on the screen you can see two lines XY and PQ, and in the question it is said they intersect at N, that is point of intersection is N. Clear? So when you see this figure, what do you understand? There are two lines XY and PQ and they are meeting or crossing each other at a common point, and that point is N. Now part C, line L contains E and F but not T. We learned that line can be represented by using a small letter also, any small letter of the English alphabet. So I will draw a line and I will name it according to the question that is given. In the question, the name of the line is L. So what name will I give? L. L contains E and F. On this line, you have to show 2 points, E and another point is F, but not D. D is another point, but it is not on the line, but somewhere else in the plane. So you can show it anywhere, here, anywhere, but not on the given line L. So I'll take a point here, and how do I name a point? By using a capital letter. Okay. So what can you say about this line? This is a line L which has 2 points E and F, but does not have the point D. Clear? Now next is OP and OQ. These are also lines, because how do you understand they are lines? You can see the symbol over them, that is double-headed arrow. Line OP and OQ meet at O. Both have a common point, and that is O. And O is there in the line also. So when you draw these lines, you have to see that there is a common point and that point is O. Okay, meet at O, that means this is O. So another point I will take and name. So this becomes a line OP, and another line is OQ. Already O is written there. So I will write here Q. So how will I name this line? This line is OQ and this line is OP, and both of them meet at a point O. Hope children, you are clear with this question. Let us solve the question number 6. Consider the following figure of the line MN. Say whether the following statements are true or false in the context of the given figure. This is the figure that is shown in your textbook, and some statements have been given. You have to, according to the figure, you have to say whether the statements are true or false. So you can see that it is a line and some points are marked here. Let us start with the first part. A, Q, M, O, N, P are points on the line MN. Okay, the line is MN and the points are asked are Q, M, O, N, P. Q, M, O, N, P. Are they on the line MN? Yes. So the first statement is true. Second statement, M, O, N are points on the line segment MN. Now take the line segment MN and they are asking whether the points M, O, N are on the line segment MN. Yes, they are on the line segment MN. So the second statement is also true. Third statement, M and N are the endpoints of the line segment MN. MN is the line segment. They are asking whether the endpoints are M and N. Yes, M and N are the endpoints of the line segment MN. So statement C is also true. Statement D, O and N are the endpoints of the line segment OP. Let us see where is the line segment OP. OP, they are asking whether O and N are the endpoints of the line segment OP. So it is false because the endpoints will be O and P. So the fourth statement is false. Number E. M is one of the endpoints of the line segment OQ. M is one of the endpoints of the line segment OQ. Is it true? No, it is not true. It is false. Clear? F. M is the point on the ray OP. M is a point on the ray OP. Now where does the ray start? It starts from O and moves in the direction P. And you find that M is beyond that, that is, it is in the opposite direction. So this statement is false. M is a point on the ray OP is false. Question number G is ray OP is different from ray QP. Ray OP is different from ray QP. Ray OP starts from the point O and ray QP starts from the point Q. So both are two different rays. So option number G is true. H. Ray OP is same as ray OM. Ray OP is same as ray OM. Both start from the point O, but OP moves in one direction and OM moves in the other direction. So this statement, that is statement number H, you will find that it is false. I. Ray OM is not opposite to ray OP. Ray OM is not opposite to ray OP. You can see that they are opposite. So this statement is also false. Now statement number J. O is not an initial point of OP. O is not an initial point of the ray OP. But you can see that ray OP starts from O. So this statement is also false. And the last statement is N is the initial point of NM and NP. N is the initial point of NP and NM. Line segments NP and NM, the initial point is N. So this statement is true. So with this we have completed with exercise 4.1. I hope students you have understood the different concepts that have been taught today and you will keep practicing till we meet again. Thank you.